Hey, everybody. If you don't know who I am yet, this is Lou Pamonti. I've just started a YouTube channel, so please subscribe. There is so much to talk about, and there's lots of chatter on the internet about what exactly is Suno. And it runs from people being out of their minds, just excited about this whole thing, into, people want to slit their throats and quit music. And I'm here because I want to talk about my first 2 weeks with Suno AI, artificial intelligence music software. 2 weeks ago, I downloaded the Suno AI software. I had heard Velvet Sundown and I had heard some of these AI groups, and they kind of had a sound to them. And I thought, oh my God, I started talking to other musicians, including my son. And I mean, so many of them are like, I don't even want to talk about it. Leave me out of it. Not interested. It's the newest toy. But then I talked to some professional musicians who are using it as a tool. There are so many ethical questions involved in Suno AI. It's become a very divisive issue and a polarizing issue between musicians. It's like, Trump being president. It's like it's split the country right down the middle, and you're either on this side or you're on that side. But I heard a statistic a little while ago about a busy session guy in LA said that more than 60% of the sessions he's been on in the last 6 months had in some way had artificial intelligence working on the session. So 2 weeks ago, I not download software, but I sign up and I become a paying member of Suno. And the very first level that you get in is the very base level. And so I started like everybody else. Okay, write me a song about being a Zamboni driver on a hockey rink. And it did, make it a country song, okay? And it does it, and it's impressive. The second level that I started doing was, let's take some of my records that I've released in the last little while, and let's start feeding it through. So I have a band by the name of Oakland Stroke, which is a Tower Power tribute band, and I fed our latest single through it, and I said, modern funk R&B music. That was the style that I wanted. Well, it came back, and I was really impressed by the ideas that it had about the arrangement. So it's like you can be a lyricist who doesn't know how to even plunk one note on the piano, and you can write a lyric and you can put it into Suno, and you can say, here's my lyric. I have no idea about music. Make it like a country ballad, and it will do it in a minute. But you see, I'm not really interested in that, and I don't think my professional friends are interested in that either. I think that what we're interested in is using it as a tool. So, for example, I'm working with two artists right now in particular, one by the name of Robin Black and one by the name of Mark Jordan. Mark Jordan is a well-known artist. And I fed some of our demos that we're currently working on into Suno for both of them. Well, they both flipped. They just got so excited about it. And I'm like, And they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm not sure yet. I'm just not sure about this. First of all, I've been a player and an arranger and a producer for many years. And when I fed my Oakland Stroke single into Suno, and I heard the fresh arrangemental ideas that came back at me, in a subsequent video, I will A/B it for you as soon as I figure out the tech. The arrangemental ideas and the horn writing, it's like, I just thought to myself, well, why didn't I think of that? So when I very first started using it, the first 3 days, I basically wanted to quit. I'm at the age where I can retire now, and it made me get 10 steps closer to just saying, okay, well, the business has moved on. So that's it for me, guys. It's been a fun ride. I'll see you later. But then I kept at it, and I started using it. There are 3 levels in Suno, and it only took me a couple of days to upgrade to the highest level, because when you go to the highest level in Suno, you have access to what is called Suno Studio, which is basically a DAW within Suno. I was really impressed with 2 things that Suno does, and that is a gospel choir. My God, the sound of the gospel choir was better than anything I could have done with people here. And secondly, with strings. It had this realistic, non-synthy string sound. So what you can do in Suno Studio is you can take this new cover version that you've made in Suno, you can put it into Suno Studio, and you can extract the stems. Sometimes it works better than other times, but what I just did an hour ago, there's a song that I'm working with Mark, and we really like the gospel choir. So I extracted the gospel choir stem, downloaded it to my hard drive, opened my DAW, which you're seeing here, and imported the gospel choir in. And now I'm cutting it up. Now, there's a very interesting thing about Suno is that it doesn't really stay metronomically to the click. So because of its listening, and I say that in quotation marks, because of its listening to every track on the internet, there's so many tracks that aren't recorded to click. So they speed up in the chorus, they slow down in the verse, they speed up at the end. And so a lot of these Suno tracks do that. They speed up and they slow down. So in other words, I had to chop up the gospel choir and manually throw it into my track that I did with Mark. The news is that I love it. And it sounded great. Me and Mark were working on a track for a long time, and it was never happening, so we tossed it. So a few days ago, I decided to throw it into Suno and do a modern cover of it. You know, do a modern singer-songwriter cover of it. It did it. Well, I did about 10 versions. It takes about a minute a version. I did about 10 versions, and what came out of one of them was this amazing groove, bass and drums. And I thought, oh my, it sounded like Jeff Porcaro was playing on the track. I mean, it was so good. And who knows? Maybe Suno listened to Toto or any of the other million albums that Jeff ever played on, and maybe that was its source. So I throw it into Suno Studio, I make the stems, I pull out bass and drums, and the guitar was good too, the guitar solo. So I took that out and I exported the stems and imported them into a new song in my DAW. And I started overdubbing Mark's voice, my keyboards over top of it. And now we love the track because it has this driving rhythm that I never thought to put on the track. But once we put it on it, once we heard that cover, we went, oh, this is amazing. Or I could have an existing track, put it into Suno Studio and say, I want a trumpet solo at bar 49, and it'll do it for you. And you can do a whole bunch of tracks and you'll probably get something good. There's so much more to talk about when it comes to Suno. This is just the first of many videos. The next video, I'm going to talk about ethics. Hi, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and by all means hit the subscribe button so we can keep improving. Thanks.